Cortez joining us from her home in Rio Hondo. Erika, welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. How have you been? We were talking earlier about being locked up in quarantine for about a month and a half, and how were you able to get through that? And did you pick up on any hobbies?
Well, quarantine was something else. Actually, as for hobbies, coach let us send us some PDF books to read for, getting stronger mentally and watching Netflix like usual. And actually, we're having home workouts, which was different because all
Mm.
the gyms were closed. So our strength and conditioning coach changed everything. So we can still work out, but just home workouts from now.
What did you Netflix? What was on your list?
Netflix. I was watching some Outer Banks. That was a
Okay.
really good show. Really good show. I was also watching, you know, Airbender. Avatar: The Last Airbender was on. Pretty
Hmm.
nice. I like that as well. It was pretty good. I was watching some TV shows.
No Tiger King. I know that was extremely popular.
Oh wow, yes. Yes. Oh wow, yes.
Yeah, when we were stuck at home, everybody we had on the show was like, yeah, Tiger King, Tiger King, Tiger King. That's all everybody was watching. Did you watch Ozark?
No, I did not.
Ozark was pretty good. It's 3 seasons. They just wrapped up their third season. The third season actually came out, I want to say, about week 2 or 3 when we had to stay home. So I breezed through that pretty quickly, and I'm I'm the kind of binge watcher where I'll watch 2 or 3 episodes, call it a day, and then one the next day, and then I kind of break it up. Are you that kind of binge watcher, or are you one of those that would just straight watch it through in one day?
I can't straight watch through one day. I have no idea why. It's just I'm exactly like how you are. I watch a couple episodes and get that through the day. The next day, watch a couple more.
Definitely. And I understand that school is over for you, at least the spring semester is, and now you're taking some summer classes. Tell us about that.
Yes, I am taking some summer classes. Might as well, because like I can stay home, during the summer here. Because my plan was actually, because my coach and I were talking since spring semester about me staying over there during the summer, so I can, get one-on-one time with the strength and conditioning coach, um, and also go to school at the same time. And she would help me out with like the scholarships over the summer. But due to this, Corona happening, everything had to change. So the plan was to take summer classes. So I just stuck with that. And as far as it comes from one on one with the strength and conditioning coach, she's actually planning to try to get us to do like virtually and all that. So that would be good.
And was it difficult for you at all? Obviously, with the schooling having to do it all online, or was that something you were familiar with?
Actually, no, that it was really difficult for me because I've never had an online class in college. So it
Mhm.
was really different to like understand. But luckily, like we have like I had really great professors and they were really like patient with me. And if I had questions, I would just email them and they were really like great in responding. So our professors were really great and they really helped us out a lot.
And then we talk about the softball season, and you guys were full steam ahead. Uh, what was that like when the day when you found out when we were starting to see things were starting to get shut down? Obviously the NBA was the first to put their season on pause shortly after we saw college softball get canned right away. Uh, where were you guys at when you guys got the news?
We were actually in Louisiana. We were in Louisiana. We had traveled there and we were already that day we were practicing because the next day we had to play Blah Tech over there. That was our inner conference. And while we were at practice, we were full on practicing everything. And our coach got a phone call in the middle of practice and It was a pretty sad day. All of us basically cried because of our season ending so soon. Our coach she really didn't know how to like tell us at first, but once she told us, we were kind of like shocked. We were disappointed because we were really like looking forward to a great season. We were really like our team bond was really amazing. So it was kind of sad because I didn't get the time spent with my seniors that I wish I had, and everything just got cut short.
On the bus ride to Louisiana, was there any uncertainty? Because we had already started to see, like I said, we started to see sports starting to slowly get put on pause. Was that in y'all's mind at all on the bus ride over there, or was it just kind of just taking it as it went?
It was kind of just, I mean, we knew about it, but we were kind of hoping for the best. Like maybe like we can finish out like this series, of playing Law Tech and maybe then, but it got shut down before we could even have our last game and everything together.
Definitely. And what was what was the transition like for you from high school ball to college ball, and not only on the field, but also adjusting to your new lifestyle, being in San Antonio away from home?
That was really different. San Antonio is a lot bigger than real Hondo. And in the beginning it was hard because I kind of like I missed my family, and I wasn't used to being away from them. And whenever I needed advice, like whatever I was going through, I was actually like any softball advice I needed, I would ask my brother, and from there I would I would call about like three people at one time. I would call my brother Nick, I would call Coach Esparza. He would give me some really great advice. He was always encouraging me to stay there, pull it through, um, give it all that I have, and all gas, no brakes. That's what he always said.
Yeah, definitely. As far as the classroom goes, you adjusted well to, putting a schedule together, a healthy schedule is one of as a lot of the athletes bring up, and that they feel is very important to them when they go to college. Were you able to find that schedule, that routine, being on your own and having to take yourself to class, take yourself to practice?
Yes, yes. In the fall, we were more about like we would start class afternoon, like after 12, because we would have 5 a.m.s, and that's from workouts, conditioning, weightlifting, that's practice, everything all in the morning. And class would be literally like at 1 and the rest of the night, all the way through the day. I had to adjust a lot. I got injured in the beginning during the fall. I got injured with I was in a boot for a while. And that was really difficult on me because I felt like I missed like our fall, our scrimmages and
Mhm.
all that. And I felt like I had to like catch up as we started like actual season in the beginning. But once I came back and I was fully cleared, I knew like I had to like prove myself to my coaches and everything. And I just knew working hard and pulling it together and doing the best I can would be great. And I proved to them that I can hold myself, I can handle myself.
Definitely. What was the toughest transition from being in high school to college? Was it the playing field? Was it the in the classroom, or what was it that you felt was the hardest transition?
I would say I would say everything in general. The playing field was kind of like it was different from high school ball, way different from high school ball. The level of competition is just incredible. Everyone can definitely play.
Yeah.
Um, but it kind of felt like normal to me as well, because like as I played with my Texas Bombers and Fully Loaded here in the Valley, like we play against like the best of the best as we were like growing up. And we played against a team called SoCal Athletics. They were literally like one of the best teams in the nation. Every single one of their players was literally committed to D1, big D1 colleges. And it was just, they were so good. They were really good. They were really good. It was a really close game. Everybody, like, we all went all out, you know, in front of like D1 coaches. And at the age of, we were, I would say like 14 at that time when we went to go play in front of those coaches and everything. And all their players were all committed to big D1 colleges. And it was just incredible. Like, it was a great experience for me to have. And as like through life, every summer, every travel ball experience really has gotten me where I am today, and how it has helped me. Like, I know like there's really great players out there, and it just helped me like play to like the great caliber.
Definitely. And then I remember when you made your debut at UTSA, I know Coach Esparza called me. He's like, Erika's in, you know, and we were following it on the game tracker. I don't remember what game it was, but you know, what was that like for you stepping on the field for the first time in your career?
It was nervous. I was nervous at the beginning because all I was thinking about was like, it's my first college game. Like, what a difference. I was really nervous. But once I like stepped on the mound and I actually like I just did me, I really like, the nervousness just went away, and I just like enjoyed the game. And I enjoyed the game that I love, basically. And I just played how I usually play, and I gave it all that I had.
Definitely. Was there anything specifically you worked on over the off season that, you know, after your senior year, you said, here are some things I maybe need to fine tune before I get to San Antonio? Or was it just a matter of just keeping in shape and being ready?
It was well, they sent us like summer workouts to work out before like we head there, so we know what to expect. I've been to Coach Alex like 3 times a week. I went
Mhm.
to him 3 times a week. I practiced my batting, and I really just focused on my pitching a lot, working on everything, like making it sharper, making the break sharper, um my velocity as well. We were working on speed work, everything. We were just making it perfect. We're trying to make it perfect.
Mhm. How's your velo right now? When you were at UTSA, did it go up a little bit or did it?
Yes, it actually did. It actually did. They introduced me to a new program, and it's actually like helped us all out as a pitching staff. It really bumped up like our speeds as a whole pitching staff. Yes.
With what you can share, what are the pitchers meetings like? You know, I'd love to be a fly on the wall for those. You know, just to share all the knowledge that you guys share with each other. What are those meetings like?
The pitching meetings are really, they're very like, it really differs from every pitcher, because on our pitching staff, most of the other pitchers on our team are drop ball pitchers. So I'm very different because
Right.
I'm a rise ball pitcher. So it's very different from me and them. But honestly, we work together like as a team, and we really like just talk about like, okay, this battery, we threw them this, and this is what they can hit, and this is what they can't hit. And we help each other out with like our spins. We also have a rap soda machine, and that actually, like, we place it in front of the catcher, and while we're pitching, it tells us our velocity, it tells us our spin, how much spin we have on the ball, the direction, where exactly it breaks, and how exactly it breaks. Like if it breaks vertically or horizontally, it tells us everything that we need to know. So we just work on it together, and we help each other out, basically.
Definitely. That sounds pretty neat. You know, these days with all the different technology that you guys have.
Yeah.
You know, so now what's the plan for you guys? Did y'all's coach just want y'all to keep the workouts going until the fall and then we'll reevaluate from there, or what's UTSA's plan for softball?
Our UTSA plan right now was they already handed out our workouts. Every day it's always a new workout. Our strength and conditioning coach is always like alert on us. We have this team builder app. So we have to, well, as we work out, we like record ourselves and we send it in the app, and he sees what we do and everything. And we really just have to be working out, keep, it's basically like for softball purposes, I go to pitching practice 3 times a week, and I bat about like 2 times a week. But I really try a lot to go to pitching practice because I can always get better. I'm not perfect all the time. I'm not a master at pitching. I can always work better, and it never hurt to get more work in.
Definitely. You mentioned your team fully loaded, your travel ball team. Right now, gosh, yesterday myself, Joe, and Billy were able to go to Alice to watch MVP Fast Pitch. They had their first practice indoors, and that was just fun to see as a reporter and as a fan of the sport, to see the kids out there, to see you guys out there playing, practicing softball for the first time since March 13th was the last softball game I was at. So it's been a while. So we're starting to see these travel teams start to find places to practice and start getting practices going. Being a former high school player, watching all these girls and seeing what they had to go through, just what was that like watching it from the outside and knowing that you were once there?
It's a lot different. I would come down during season. I would come down to the valley a lot because I wanted to watch the girls play. I really miss my Hondo Lady Cats over here. Really miss them a lot. And it was kind of like, it was just like, wow, like I was there. I was in their shoes, and I know exactly how it feels. And I'm so sorry that their season also got cut short, because I know they would have done great things this season. They're a spectacular amount of girls. Like, there's so much talent on that team. It's just, I felt really sorry about their season ending.
Yeah, and unfortunately, Nayeli was the only senior this year, or Nayeli and Jessica were the two
Yes,
seniors this year on that team. So, their season did get cut short. But, a lot of the girls like Kelsey, who's actually, she had her first team practice with MVP Fast Pitch yesterday. So, she's there. You have girls like Abby T,
yes.
Angel Martinez. So the team's still in pretty good shape as far as, looking forward to next year, because this crop were sophomores when you were here. Now they're juniors. Next year they're going to be seniors. And then the time that you spent in Rio Hondo last year, a lot of these girls very closely. Talk about your time in Rio Hondo. It was a very unique story on how you started the year at Edinburgh High, and then you ended the year in Rio Hondo, and it was really like a storybook ending for you with your career, your softball career in high school. So just talk about that and the year that you had last year for Rio Hondo.
Moving to Hondo was, I was really nervous at first. When I went to our first practice, and I got to meet a lot of the girls. I knew Kayla already. I knew Nayeli, and I knew them through select softball, all of that. It was just connecting with the other girls, the lower classmen a lot. I had to sit down the first 15 days as UIL rules. And that actually really helped me connect with the younger group of girls. And once I really connected with them, I really I felt a part of the team. They were very welcoming. It felt like home, as well. I would encourage them. They would help me out. We were just always together. We were always supporting each other no matter what. With Hondo, Coach Esparza really helped me out a lot with everything. He was honestly, one of the best coaches I've ever been coached by. I love Esparza. He's awesome. He's a great coach. He really helped me out through the whole season. We just had a really great, spectacular last senior season for me, and I couldn't see it any other way. It was just an amazing season.
When I knew that, obviously, you mentioned that 15-day period where you had to sit out. I was kind of wondering, where is Erika going to fit in, as a reporter, looking at the team and, looking kind of at the pieces as a whole. And when I knew that, I'm like, this is going to work, and she's not only going to have an impact on the field, but in the dugout and off the field, was we were in Brownsville at the Brownsville tournament, and I'm sitting there taking pictures in the dugout, and you're sitting next to me. It was you, me, and Gibby. We were all there in the dugout, and I'm there taking pictures, and you were coaching from the dugout. were calling out pitches. You were breaking down pitches. I think y'all were playing against Vela, and you knew what Dorito was going to throw. And the girls, the underclassmen would come to you and say, Erika, what do I have to do here? Tell me, teach me. And I think it was Domo that was one of the first ones that went up to you and was like, teach me, tell me, what do I need to do? What do I need to look for? And you were just like, okay, here, boom, bang, boom. And then she goes up to bat. Next girl up in line, Erika, what do you see? What do we do? How, so when I saw that, I'm like, this is gonna work. And then you were placed right where you needed to be placed, when you were pitching, the coaches did all that. And I'm like, this is gonna be good. And once this team finds their groove together collectively, it's gonna be a pretty good team.
Yeah.
When did you feel that you were like, okay, I feel comfortable where I'm at. Let's get this ball rolling. When did you feel that?
I would say when I felt that was honestly, I would say my first game. The first game I actually got to play in, and actually, which is Zapata was the first game I actually got to play with, was against Zapata. That game was a great game. Actually, we bonded so closely during that game, and they always had my back no matter what the outcome was. They always had my back. Domo with amazing catches in center field. Kayla with amazing stops at third base. Everyone just really did their part, and we worked as a whole. And we came out with the W that game, and we just did very well that game.
And that was at Zapata, right?
Yes, at Zapata.
It was at Zapata because you made your home debut against Raymondville.
Yes.
Right, and I think that's when you threw the no-hitter.
Yes, no-hitter,
right? So yeah, we were actually at that game, and I remember I was like, it's one thing to play on the road, but it's another thing to come home and play in front of your home crowd, a place where you're from. And I think I remember you mentioned to me after the game was that there was a little bit of nervous. You were a little nerves, but once you got going, you felt it that night.
Yes, that's exactly right. I was a little nervous since the start of the game, but with the team always having my back and with them always encouraging me, it felt home. I felt comfortable, and I just went out there and I just threw me. I just did me, and I knew the girls would back me up and they would do everything they can.
I tell Coach Esparza this, and I tell different softball coaches that in this game specifically, it's far few and in between where this one player has what I call the killer instinct. Where those things you don't teach, where the kid just has it, they're gonna go out, they're gonna get you. And I always felt you had that killer instinct from when I saw you as a freshman in San Benito. We felt that you were coming into your own. But when you came to Real Hondo, we saw that. We saw those things. We saw the fully developed Erika Cortez ready to go out and take the softball world by storm. We go to the playoffs, and one thing I noticed was, I believe it was I think it was the Sweet 16, or it was the third round when you guys were playing Sinton. The third round against Sinton, and we're getting off the bus, and everyone's smiling, laughing, and then there you are, you're pitching that day, headphones on, you're zoned in, and I'm like, there's nothing wrong with smiling and joking before a game, absolutely, but you were a different breed. I felt like you were there to work. It was a business trip, going to play at Bevo Jones. So you wake up on a game day. Walk us through what's it like in the day of life of Erika. On a game day, you wake up, you have your routine. What's that like?
The day before, I would always watch. It's just a thing that I do. I always watch these Perfect Game. That's always my movie. I always watch that before game days. When I wake up on game days, I'm just honestly locked in throughout the whole day. Like, even when I'm at school and all that, all I'm thinking about is the game. And during lunch, I'm looking at videos. I'm scouting the other team. I'm looking at what this girl can hit, what the other girl can't. Like, I'm just really into the game. And that's just me the whole way. Bus rides. I can't sleep. I can never sleep on bus rides. I have no idea why. I think, and I'm really zoned in. I'm just thinking, okay, this is how it's going to go. This is what I'm going to do. And I'm just planning the whole thing in my mind. And I just feel like I'm okay with the girls like laughing and joking. That's fine. That's, you do you and I do me. And they know, once I'm like, I put my headphones on and my face is like, I'm serious. I'm really zoned in. They don't try to make me laugh. No, nothing. They let me do me and they do them. And I'm just really focused into the game and I want to win. And I go out there and I do me the best I can. And everything that in my power that I can do to control the game is what I will do.
You made a couple of really big pitches against Sinton in that series in the clincher. You guys get the final out. We have that picture of you raising your hands up in the air. It just looked like a sigh of relief, like it's done. We did it. Like I can relax. Was that the feel when you guys punched y'all's ticket to the Sweet 16?
When we did that, I was really relieved. I was so happy and proud of our team. During that game, especially Sinton, that one game right there, the second game, it was very it was intense. It was very intense. That one inning where bases loaded, one out, like game winning run, it was just in that environment. I just felt like I'm not gonna give up. This is my senior season. This is my senior season. And we're here and we're gonna work hard. And I never gave up on anything, even when I was down 3-0 in the count. I never gave up, came back from behind, and I kept fighting and fighting and fighting until we finally got it. And we finally won in that, what was it, like a 3-hour game? Almost?
More or less. It was a long one.
It was a very long game, and it just felt relieved. It felt really relieved. I was so proud of the team. We were so proud of each other. It was the most amazing game I've ever experienced in high school.
Definitely. We talk about, the pitching performances, and the teams that go the furthest in the playoffs have that dominant pitcher. Crystal Castillo with San Benito, Amber Hassel, Taylor Tafoya at Weslaco, you at Rio Hondo. Talk about the state of pitching and where it's at in the Valley, and some of those girls that I just named. Just talk about the look of a power pitcher, and the mentality that a power pitcher has and where it's at.
Someone who, for the pitchers that I see, is the ones who are focused, the ones who they fight and fight and fight, and they push themselves so hard, and they're just really into the game. And you can tell, once you see a pitcher, it's just you really can tell. Really, they're just very focused, and they give everything they have in that. They give everything they have every single game, no matter who the opponent is, whether it's a easier team or if it's the hardest team. They give their 100% every time they're on that mound, and they go hard every single time. And those are what makes a pitcher great, is when you go 100% and you go hard every time. No matter what the outcome is, you go and you push yourself and you fight to the end.
And we talked about, travel ball as well, just how tight knit the travel ball community is. Some of the softball girls we've had on here before, is they bring up that travel ball is where it's at when it comes to a competitive level and also being looked at by colleges. When did UTSA get on your radar?
When I was 14. I was playing with the Texas Bombers Gold team when I was 14. Our first tournament back was Huber Ranch in Seguin, Texas, and I hit 2 home runs, and I pitched almost that whole tournament. I would say almost that whole tournament. They saw what she said really stood out for me was she saw the fire in my eye. That's what she would say. She saw how instinct. I was yes, how I was so competitive, and the same thing, Kevin. Bases loaded, last inning, winning runs, and it was time. So once times it, that's the game. But my coach wanted me to finish the inning, so he was like, we're gonna finish the inning. And the coaches, UTSA coach was there, and we finished the inning, and I struck her out. the last inning. I struck the last batter out, and she loved that about me. That's like one of the moments that she really loved about me, was that moment right there. How I never gave up and I kept pushing, and I had that drive. I had that drive to get this game done and get a W.
Definitely. And we're looking at softball from a whole here. And we talked about your power pitching, and your time in travel ball and your time at UTSA. But looking at it as a whole, from your high school career, and again, we've talked about this before, and it was a unique one, from San Benito to Edinburgh High to Rio Hondo. And I've said this to you, and I've said this to others, that I felt that Rio Hondo got the full version of Erika Cortez, and that was displayed, not only through the district season, off the field, and especially in the playoffs, where your impact and your leadership was really felt. Did you feel that once everything was said and done in Rio Hondo, once the season was over, once the dust settled, you did everything you could in your power to say, hey, despite the ups and downs in my high school career, I went out on top?
Yes, I definitely felt that way. Rio Hondo was just amazing, amazing community, amazing fan base, great coaching staff as well. I felt comfortable, and I felt like I gave my 100%, and I did all that I could for Rio Hondo, going out with a bang. I felt like I ended my senior season very well. Like, I was so pleased with my senior season.
Definitely, yeah. And you were our pitcher of the year too, as well. I want to say at the paper of the year.
Yes.
So yeah, I know. I felt you definitely wrapped up your career with a bang, and you went out. You went out as the great Erika Cortez there in Rio Hondo. So what are your plans now? As far as adjusting to the new lifestyle, and these days we can actually go out to the beach, and of course taking it safe, but
Mhm.
what are your plans for the summer?
As for summer, we're actually my travel ball team, because we're still eligible this one last year. We want to get one last great season again, great together, one last ride together. And we're going to the Gold Cup. We're gonna play in these big tournaments together. It's just, we're really one last ride. We want to get it together, and pitching practice 3 times a week as usual, batting practice 2 times a week. I got school online as well, my summer classes. I got summer workouts for UTSA. So I'm staying busy all the time.
How soon will those tournaments start for you guys with Fully Loaded?
June 9th, I would say June 19th, actually, June 19th.
Is that y'all's first practice, or is that a tournament?
No, our first practice was like 2 weeks ago,
Okay.
I would say. That was
Okay.
our first practice. We actually practice tomorrow as well.
Okay, cool deal. Yeah. So, and we know we're definitely we're excited to start dipping our toes into the travel ball world as well. So we have a couple of tournaments lined up later this month. So hopefully, we can get in contact with Fully Loaded and see what we can do when it comes to maybe going out there and covering some of you guys' games.
Yes, that would be great. That would be awesome. Yeah.
Definitely. So Erika, before we go, any shout outs you'd like to give out? I know there's a lot of, I know the Sparza's coaches are watching. Mateo, of course, is watching. Andrew Cáceres, he was watching as well. Diana Elise Gonzalez is super proud of you, Erika. Good job. You go, girl. Ofelia Rivera says, Erika, we're very proud of you. God bless you always. Keep it up. Lupe Sandoval says, hey, Erika, we love you. Diana Elise Gonzalez says, Fully Loaded is back and getting ready for Houston. And Coach Esparza also comments, a very special player, very humble and very humbled, and a pleasure to even be a small part of her amazing career, kiddo. Very well deserving of all your success. So a lot of people were tuning in and enjoying you give us your softball knowledge. So any shout outs?
Want to give a shout out to my family, always supporting me no matter what. My brother Sergio, who is currently in New York, saving lives over there. I also want to give a special shout out to the Esparza family for always supporting me and always being there for me whenever I need them. I love to give a shout out to my friends and to my FL family out there because they're really the best. We are truly a great family.
Definitely. We're joined by former Real Hondo Lady Bobcat and current UTSA Roadrunner Erika Cortez. Erika, this was fun. I enjoyed talking some softball with you once again. It had been a while since we got to talk softball, but thanks for taking the time to join us here on our show.
Yeah, of course, Kevin, anytime.
Thank you. Well, take care of yourself, and hopefully we'll see you sometime down the road.